Welcome to today's yoga practice. You might want to grab a couple of blocks and maybe even a folded up towel to place underneath your knees. Let's go ahead and begin. We'll start out in easy seated pose. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, slowly close the eyes if that's comfortable for you. And we'll just start off with a few deep breaths in and out. Leaving behind whatever we were doing before practice and trying not to worry too much about what will come after practice. Last inhale through the nose. And then exhale through the nose or the mouth. Slowly open your eyes if they're closed. Place the left fingertips down on the mat beside you and take the right ear to the right shoulder. You can begin to slowly walk the left fingertips away from the body. And taking a few deep breaths here. Last inhale. Exhale, return the left hand to left thigh, and then go ahead and bring the head back to center. Place the right fingertips on the mat beside you, left ear to left shoulder, and then you can begin to crawl the fingertips away from the body. Breathing deeply in and out through the nose. Last inhale. Exhale, return right hand to right thigh, and then bring the head back to center. Moving into seated cat-cow. Place the hands more towards the shins, and then on an inhale, you're going to rock forward on the sit bones, lift the chest, lift the chin. And then on your exhale, rock back on the sit bones, rounding the back, tucking the chin. Inhale to come forward. Exhale to rock back. And do this a couple more times at your own pace. Last time coming forward. Exhale to round back. And then come back to center. Leaving your hands on the thighs. Inhale, send the chest forward. And then come around to the right. Rolling back on the sits bones, rounding the back, coming around to the left. And back forward again. So just making big circles with the torso. Inhaling forward, exhaling on the way back. And then reverse directions. Inhaling forward and exhaling on the way back. So these circles can be as big or as small as you want them. Last time coming forward And then rolling back, and then come back to center. Go ahead and find your tabletop position. So coming to hands and knees. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Moving into puppy pose, you'll keep the hips over the knees and then begin to walk the arms forward. So you can then begin to rest the head down onto the block, onto the floor, or you can place the chin onto the floor. Stay here for a few breaths. Last inhale. Exhale, walk the hands back underneath you. So back in our tabletop position. Inhale here. Exhale, send the right arm underneath the left, placing the right shoulder, right ear down onto the ground. Stretch the left arm overhead, and then give a slight shift of the hips to the right. Breathe here. Last inhale. Exhale, bring the left hand back in front of the face, press into the ground, come back to tabletop. And we'll do that on the other side. So inhale here. Exhale, send the left arm underneath the right, placing the left shoulder down onto the ground, left ear down to the ground. Stretch the right arm above the head, and then shift the hips slightly to the left. Deep inhales and deep exhales. Last inhale. Exhale, send the right hand back in front of the face, press the hand into the floor, come back up to tabletop. From here, tuck the back toes, lift the knees, coming into plank. Take a couple of breaths here. Last inhale. Exhale, slowly lower all the way down to the ground. Place forearms to the ground with the elbows slightly forward of the shoulders. Press into the hands, lift the chest, and send the chest forward. Gaze is straight ahead, legs are relaxed. Taking a moment of stillness here. Last inhale. Exhale, lower the chest, place the hands underneath the shoulders, and come back up to tabletop. From here, readjust so that the hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. Inhale, send the right leg out long behind you. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, send the leg back behind you. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, send the leg out long. Exhale, knee to nose. Exhale, send the leg back out long. And then on the next time, we're going to take the knee, the right knee, towards the right armpit, and then set the right foot down to the outside of the right hand. Then take the foot and walk it in between the hands. Place fingertips down on the ground. Shift the hips down and forward. Anjaneyasana or low lunge. If you need blocks underneath the fingertips, you can grab those. Lifting the chest forward, sending the hips forward and down. Last inhale. Exhale. Place the left palm down onto the ground. Press into the hand. Open the chest up to the right, sending the right hand toward the ceiling. Take a few breaths here. Gaze can be straight ahead or up at the hand. Really pushing into the floor. Last inhale. Exhale, send the right hand back down to the ground. Shift the hips back. And then take the left toes and aim them toward the right side of the mat. Inhale, lift the chest, open up, stretch the arms out into this low warrior two position. Take an inhale here. Exhale, bend into the right leg. Inhale to come back up. Exhale, bend into the right leg. Inhale to come back up. Exhale, bend into the right leg. Inhale to come back up. Take the right heel and spin it away from the body so that the right leg becomes straight and the toes are facing forward. Inhale, lift the left arm, send the right hand down to the right thigh. Exhale, reach over to the right. Take a few breaths here. Last inhale. Exhale, return to your starting position. Inhale here. Exhale, left fingertips to the ground next to the left thigh, and then send the right arm up toward the ceiling. Gaze can be down at the floor, straight ahead, or up at the hand. You also have the option to reach the right arm overhead. Breathing here, keeping the chest spinning open. Last inhale. Exhale, gaze down at the left hand, sweep the right arm in front of you, and then come back up to your starting position. Spin the left heel back in towards the body, and then place the hands back down onto the mat to frame the right foot. Send the left toes back behind you. Lift the knee, and then straighten the right leg. Pop the left foot in a few inches and set the foot down at an angle with the toes pointing out. Fingertips down on the ground or on a block. Inhale, lift the chest forward. Exhale, fold. Finding stillness here. Inhale, lift the chest, and then walk the fingers and torso around to face the long end of the mat. Toes face forward. Inhale, send the chest forward. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Breathe here. Inhale, plant the hands onto the ground, lift the chest. Exhale, slowly come up to stand. Take the toes and aim them out. Inhale, raise the arms overhead. Exhale, bend elbows, sink down into goddess pose. Breathe here. Knees are aiming toward the wall behind you. Last inhale. Exhale, lower the hands, straighten the legs. Send the toes back toward the long end of the mat, hands to the waist. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, send the hips back, chest forward, coming back down into your forward fold. Take a breath here. Inhale, press the hands into the ground, and then begin to pivot around to the back end of your mat, stepping back into plank. Take a couple of breaths here in plank. Last inhale here. Exhale, slowly lower all the way down to the ground. Inhale, press the hands into the ground, lift the chest. Exhale, lower. Inhale, come to tabletop. We'll do that again on the left side. So on an inhale, take the left leg out long behind you. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, send the leg back behind you. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, take the left leg out. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, send the left leg back out. Exhale, left knee to left armpit, and then place the left foot down on the ground to the outside of the left hand. Crawl the left foot in between the hands. Send the fingertips to the ground. Send the hips forward and down for Anjaneyasana. Keeping the chest lifted. Remember, you can use blocks here. Finding stillness. Breathing deeply. Last inhale here. Exhale. Plant the right hand down onto the mat. Press into the hand. Open the chest up to the left. Send the left hand up to the ceiling. Gaze can be straight ahead or up at the hand. Take a few breaths here. Really press the floor away from you. Last inhale. Exhale, send the left hand back down to the ground. Send the hips back. Take the right toes and pivot them over to the left side of the mat. Raise the chest, open up the arms, coming into this low warrior two position. Take an inhale here. Exhale, bend into the left knee. Inhale to come up. Exhale to go down. Inhale to come up. Exhale, bend into the knee. Inhale to come up. Take the left heel and spin it away from you so that the left leg becomes straight and the toes are facing forward. Inhale, raise the right arm, send the left hand down to the left thigh. Exhale, reach over to the left. Breathe here. Last inhale. Exhale, return to your starting position. Inhale here. Exhale, right fingertips to a block or to the mat. Lift the left arm up toward the ceiling. Gaze can be at the floor, to the wall in front of you, or up at the hand. Option to reach the left hand overhead. Keeping the chest spinning forward. Breathe. Last inhale. Exhale, look at the floor, and then send the left hand in front of the body, coming back up to your starting position. And then spin the left heel back in toward the body. Take the hands down to the ground to frame the left foot. Send the right toes back behind you. Lift the back leg. And then pull the left leg in a few inches, straightening the right foot or right leg. Right toes are at an angle. I'm getting tongue-tied. Inhale, lift the chest forward, hands on blocks or the floor. Exhale, fold forward. Breathing here. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, pivot around to face the long end of the mat, toes face forward. Hands are on the ground about shoulders width apart, and then begin to kind of walk the feet in just a bit, but you want them to remain wider than the hips. From here, we'll move into Malasana, and go ahead, lower the hips. If you need a block underneath you, you can place a block underneath the hips. Hands can remain on the floor, or you can bring the hands to prayer pose, pressing the elbows into the thighs. Chest is lifting. Take a couple of breaths here. Send the left hand out to the outside of the left foot. Reach the right arm up and over. Breathe here. Last inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Right hand to the outside of the right foot. Inhale, raise the left arm overhead. Taking a few deep breaths here. Last inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Go ahead and slowly let the hips find the ground. Place the hands behind you. Crawl the feet out in front of you, hip width apart. And then just begin to knock the knees from side to side. Come back to center, lift the chest. Send the legs out long and at an angle. This does not have to be a super wide angle, just whatever works for you. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Spin the chest around to face the right foot. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, send the chest forward, folding over the right leg. Finding stillness and deep breaths here. Last inhale. Exhale, lift the chest and come back to center. Inhale here, lengthen the spine. Exhale, send the hips back, chest forward, folding any amount. That's good for you. Last inhale here. Exhale, walk the hands back, lift the chest. Spin the chest to face the left foot. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, send the chest forward, folding over the left leg. Last inhale. Exhale, slowly lift the chest and come back to center. Place the hands underneath the knees, bend the knees, placing the soles of the feet down onto the ground, and then we'll come into a reclined position. Pull the knees into the chest, rock a little from side to side. Take the arms out, goalpost arms. Send the legs over to the left, and then gaze can go to the right. We'll take several deep breaths here. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, send the legs over to the right, and gaze can go to the left. We'll be here for several breaths. Last inhale. Exhale. And then come back to center. Send the legs out long down the mat, wider than hip width. Let the feet fall out to the sides, palms face up beside you, and then let the shoulder blades go down the back. Coming into our final resting pose. Maybe taking a moment to notice any places where you're holding tension. And seeing if you can let that tension go on your exhales. So this is where I will leave you today. Thank you for practicing with me.